Hello, everybody. Welcome to day number 3. Awesome stuff. Glad to see some people are here. Awesome. So yeah, Happy New Year's. It is now 2024. Good stuff to see. Let's kick that music back into gear and switch over to the camera. Awesome stuff. So yeah, welcome to the stream. You know, same old, same old. We're gonna get started with some warm up, and then do some more of our textures. I just realized I kind of got started somewhat earlier today, but I did not pick out a texture for today. So we will have to do that in between. I'm gonna stick with what I did yesterday and do a 10 minutes of warm up and hour of our textures or drawing in general. Yeah, should be pretty fun, should be pretty easy. And yeah, just looking back what we did yesterday, the Forsaken Okra that we did not have too much fun with. We did our bubbles, our bubble wrap yesterday. In hindsight, looking back at it with a fresh pair of eyes, does not look bad. I'm okay with it. It looks weird. I feel like we could have added a taper to the edges of it, and we still can, just to symbolize that, hey, this is plastic it's sitting on top of. Like, add something, gotta be careful here. Also, apologies, I am a bit sick. My nose is very stuffy, so I will be muting myself every so often. But yeah, we could be adding some, I don't know, I mean texture, obviously, to the bottom of that just to make it look more like plastic. Regardless, I'm happy with it. We'll do some more fun stuff today. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 7 textures remaining. Awesome. So, and then we have a whole nother page of this to do. But yeah, it was actually my New Year's goal to have this finished, have lesson 2 finished by then. Sadly, not finished. I did have a lot going on early December, including exams, so I did not have the time at all to touch this. But now I'm very glad because now I have an hour a day, 6 days a week with you guys to work on this awesome stuff. Adding to that, I also did get some feedback on the last stream and definitely noticed it when I rewatched it. There was some audio cutting out. Oh goodness, almost dropped my pen. That is because, it could be because Spotify is streaming everything at 44.1 kilohertz, and I have everything set up to be 48. So it could be randomly doing that, and the fix for that is making Spotify stream at 48. I don't know how to do that, and I was trying to fix it before then. All that to say, I would be downloading this music, which is available and free to do with creatormix.com. Highly recommend it. Great music for creators, royalty-free, and music for creators by creators. Sadly, their website, I'm going to get in contact with them soon because their website is not working whenever I try to sign in with my account. It's not recognizing my email, so that is something for the future. If it does get so bad, please tell me and I could turn down the music or even turn it off, which I love the music. I hate to do that to you guys. But yeah, so without further ado, and apologies for my constant stuffy nose. I know that probably isn't the best sounding thing in the world. We're going to set a 10-minute timer on there. Perfect. And without further ado, also my music thing's broken today. Wow, everything is... Let's see if we can try to fix that real quick. And I think I know exactly the way to fix that. Just click on this real quick, and then click on that. Oh. Maybe not. One more attempt. That is not good. Well, that's unfortunate. Make sure everything is set up over here. Sorry for this delay, goodness. We're just gonna do a quick refresh. Apply that, and hopefully it'll kick back into gear. We will see. In fact, on that note, we will actually pause our music and refresh. Hopefully this will help us out a bit. Because music is very important. You cannot sacrifice music. Yep. There we go. Okay, awesome stuff. Maybe it's just I added some new songs to the playlist, also from Creator Mix. Give them a check. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into some warm-ups as per usual. We're gonna do some planes, do some boxes. We are working on our speed, like my good friend Delano, the speed master. And we are also working on hovering, making straight lines without making full contact with the table. Yesterday my lines were really good. I hope I can repeat that today. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I hope everyone is having a wonderful beginning to their 2024, and if not, come join the stream, do some art with me, do something productive, do something healthy, and we'll make it a great 2024. Oh. I will be right back. Actually, I have a bit of a surprise. Man, all of the distractions today. I am so sorry about that. Wow. Okay, let's get back to it. I almost just realized I almost left my pin on top of my texture page. That's really not good. Get back into it. Get back into the mindset. Woof. There we go. Some good lines. Slowly learning to like this pin, but that's also because I think I'm using it a lot. And the more I use this pin, the more worn it gets, and I'm kind of used to the worn tip of the fine liner. Go. But yeah, 2024. Wonder how crazy this year will be after all the others. Let's hope it calms down a bit. As per usual, let's hope for some fortune. Good fortune, that's the word I'm thinking of. And then we stick to our resolutions. However, so long as you join this stream and we work together, we're for sure sticking to those resolutions. I know I'm preachy about it, but I feel like constantly reinforcing that is the best way to, oh goodness, remind people to join in and stick with it. And how about if we test some chat today, and you guys could put some of your New Year's resolutions in chat if you want, or in the comments of this video afterwards. I'll try to look at them. I always get distracted by my pages. But yeah, I'm always interested in what people... Oh wow, okay, I need to focus more on this page, jeez. I'm always very, very interested in what people have for their New Year's resolutions. It's a pretty good reflection of them, you know, if they want to get back into cooking or stuff like that. I bring up cooking a lot. I'm a very food-oriented person. Despite my metabolism, I'm a very food-oriented person. And yet, ironically, my most of my roommates and friends would agree that I'm a bit of a health nut, so it makes no sense that I'm this obsessed with food. But nevertheless, I mean, who wouldn't want, you know? Oh, I forgot to do my timer. Wow. Who wouldn't want some nice boba? You know, I'm a huge boba fan. I would be a fan of making some better lines. I don't know what's going on today. See, big arcs. I need to... That's much better. I'm not going to give myself too much trash, as these are warm-up lines. And today was unreasonably cold. My camera's losing focus. I'm about to make it do a manual focus on it, or just do a little bit of this. Perfect. That works out much better. Completely lost where I was going with that first part. I feel like I do the same boxes over and over, but then I've done hundreds of them, so I probably am prone to repeat some. Ah, that was not a happy line. We have good days and bad days. You know what, I'm going to blame my hoodie. Now, I'm not going to take it off because I'm very cold, but these sleeves are bothering me a bit. But I'd rather be cold and cozy than suffering as I draw these. a bit jittery on the end of that line, but we're slowly warming up, doing better and better lines. I think it's more of a focus thing today. Not that I'm saying like I'm unfocused or thinking about anything else, but meh. You know, some days you just aren't all the way there. One thing I love about the break though is I can't say it was a sleep issue. I got plenty of sleep. I've been getting plenty of sleep over these breaks. One thing that I do want to draw in the future, if we don't do Drawbox days, we just do like construction days or study days. I've been recently watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh my gosh, I love it. And looking at the manga, I love the art style. It's similar to the animation, but still. Plus, especially the outro for season 1 so far. A little like what was it called when they animate a live video of someone? Whatever that is. I know it's not rotoscope, but actually maybe it is. Regardless, I really like that. Very smooth. The little colors that they use in there. I kind of like the spilled pastels look, or like, I'm not sure if it's watercolor is the right word. Who knows? Get some water real quick. Go. Also sent out a text. Addicted to my phone. Probably be a good habit during these streams to put it on silent. Or just, you know, anything with art and stuff like that. Anytime I'm trying to practice a skill, don't want distractions. Very good line. Or dot, I should say. I can't say it's too hard to make good dots. I'm not feeling too good about this. I don't know why, though. Maybe it's just because I'm a tad bit sick. Not all there. Believe many can sympathize. Recently went on a trip internationally, and there's a lot of hiking involved. I hurt my ankle too, so I'm falling apart. And yeah, this is cut on my thumb is I was putting some holes in a belt for a friend and smashed my thumb. So yeah, I am falling apart. Not bad, not bad. I'm okay with that. I feel like every day I try to, you know, cut the time down a bit. Not because I don't want to be here, but I want to like, you know, once it comes to university season, definitely won't have the time I have now. And so, despite my efforts, I usually spend about an hour and 40 minutes regardless. And then I take about 30 minutes before this for setting up the stream and everything. It's such a strange feeling setting up for a stream because it feels like you're going against the clock. Not that many are waiting, but it is a very chaotic feeling. Also to add, if these times don't work out for other people or anyone watching, please tell me what times would. And please also include your time zone because, you know, Central Standard Time, Eastern... Actually, I'm not even sure if that's what it's called. Whatever it's called, please include that because I would love to adapt my schedule to others. Preferably, I'd go later into the night, but if they, you know, because after streams, I usually just either go to the gym or play a game and sleep. You know, it's kind of my wind down. Let's make a, just make a pretty normal cube. I'd be happy with the cube. But yeah, so please tell me, please leave that in the comments or in the stream. This is our project after all. My heart just jumped a tiny bit because I just realized there's something I have been wanting to talk about on stream. Oh my gosh, I found oh man, first off I'm gonna pronounce the pronunciation. And oh man, I just talked about Jujutsu Kaisen and I'm gonna talk about something else Japanese. I mean, I guess I am a weeb, whatever. But man, I found this like subset of card games called Kabu. Oh my gosh. Super fun concept. I played a game with my friend the other day. I think it was Hikikabu. Very fun. Oh no, it was it means like fire crackle. It's the onomatopoeia for fire crackle. I can't remember it. I'll try to pull it up if I could. Man, very addicting game. It's a tiny bit like poker, but it's more luck based, and the aesthetic is also very nice as well. But yeah, I want to, I think I'm gonna buy like an actual card deck for that too. Oh, what am I doing? Well, Excellence Heaven. Such a nice box other than that. I was too busy thinking about my card deck to focus on the box. I'm such a nerd, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep it going. We are doing great today though. As per usual. I've noticed, as I do more art, a bad day in art is... It's only kind of like formed when you first start drawing that day. You just tell yourself you're off. You're like, oh man, I'm not doing well. Which is more of a self-talk issue. Like, I don't think there's a day where you're just bad. It's a how you started it off, and now you form this mentality that it's going to be a bad day. So you keep perpetuating it. You take... Something outside my door? No, okay. You take less risks. Oh, it was my AC kicking in, that's why. Stuff like that. Yep, okay, so, timer's almost up. Yeah, we still have to do our ellipses. Man. Maybe I'll speed up in the future. Too busy talking about anime and Japanese card games. Christ. What a nerd. Like this is to go like right here, just a tiny bit off. Good stuff. And also, if you can hear my AC in the background, please also let me know in chat because I want to do my best. Audio is a big thing for me. It is very important to have good audio in my streams and media, so because that can ruin it so quickly for so many people, including myself. I've clicked off YouTube videos that have probably some of the best graphics you could imagine, but if you have bad audio, I have no time in the day for you. No clue why that is, but it's a pet peeve of mine. So yeah, this one could probably benefit from going a bit higher. So I'll do that. It is pretty interesting how like these small dots make such the difference. And I just realized I've lost focus. You know what? I'm gonna do this. And if this doesn't work out, I'm just going to set a manual focus. There we go, wonderful. Wonder why it's doing a lot of that today. But yeah, if this continues, I'll do a manual focus on my camera, and we'll just deal with that. Awesome. Okay, like how these boxes turned out. Let's do some ellipses, shall we? We also not really invented, but we I think it's because I'm not sitting high enough. That's why some of my lines aren't doing their best today. I need to change my posture a bit. Tiny bit better. Also have a very fun question for people too, and this is one I will probably ask. there. Sorry, that ellipse was really scaring me. I'll ask more in the futures. What are you wanting to draw for? Do you want to draw for video game or like concept art? Do you want to draw professionally for arts? Get your art famous. What do you want to do with it? I would really like to, or beyond just drawing. Now this is a drawing oriented stream. I would love to hear what you're doing your hobby for, what you want the end goal to be. Also, I just realized my song player's been broken. Yeah, that sucks. I'm not even fixing it. I think a rule of thumb is I'll fix this media player when Creator Mix fixes their website. Also, my friend Delano wants me to start posting the links to these streams on the, what's it called? Drawbox Discord. Forgot to do that today, but also I'm going to save that off until I've done it for a bit. I don't want this to seem like a whimsical, I'm going to stream for a year. No, I want to maybe get like 7 to 14 days in, 2 weeks in, to where I make that commitment. Not that others are judging me for doing this, obviously, or expecting me to fail. But, having that core to it, I think, is quite beneficial. Or maybe once I finish this textures assignment so other people don't see how horrible my textures are. Obviously, I don't think my textures are horrible, but I do think these ellipses aren't too great. Goodness. Ugh. Yep. I know I had a whole spiel about it being a mentality thing, but maybe today just isn't my day. No, we are perfectly capable of making some good art today. More than ever. Oof. It's pretty nice. Check on all the stream information real quick, make sure that we're doing good. Awesome, good stuff. Oh, wonderful. Little snowman with a weird hat. Or halo, I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's do some ellipses here. Very good. Bisect this. Actually, if you like it, yeah. Also, I heard there was an update to Drawbox Lesson 1 today, where you're allowed to use ruler for more things. I haven't looked into it too much myself, but I kind of feel like an old fart when I say, no, take the ruler away, do it the old-fashioned way. I've seen a lot of success and fulfillment from learning how to draw better lines myself. But hey, uncomfy is the king. So if he deems that it's very important that rulers are used for some segments, and I haven't even looked at it, this is all hearsay, right? But if he deems it important to use ruler for some segments, let it be. And plus, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you're consistently practicing art every day, trying out new things, and exploring different concepts, you're going to learn art. So don't worry about it. Just the same as if you go to the gym every day, even if you do a tiny bit of progress, it's progress. Even if you use that one machine that everyone talks trash on, if it works for you and you're seeing great results, then keep on doing it in a healthy and reserved manner. Wonderful. Awesome stuff. Okay, so now let's pick out our texture of the day. I have had some ideas, but I know I'm not supposed to have this mentality. But sometimes I feel they are just not approachable with this, or with, you know, what I'm trying to do. Like, it's too flat. It doesn't have a dimensional texture to it. It's just a third-dimensional texture to it. Oh man, snake scales. If I already didn't do that, I would definitely try to approach that again. Maybe I could do it in some warm-up or free time. Who knows? Let's see. Let us open up PureRef. Get a reference going. Nice. Okay. Drawbox texture ideas. Oh, what is that? That looks creepy. I don't like that. Of course, fruit is always the option. I may do a devil fruit for one of the exterior textures on the next page. Oh goodness, I have such a far way to go. Oh, this looks pretty cool. Oh, that's like a giant image. So there's no telling what that is. Okay. Yeah, Pinterest at this point is just kind of recommending things that I've already saved, which is not that helpful. But I guess it is slowly learning what I'm aiming to draw, because it's giving me similar suggestions. Oh, what in the world is that? Seeing some like strange bacteria stuff. Oof. Oh man, these aren't too inspiring. Let's look at some different sources for drawbox ideas. Oh, there is salmon. Oh, I kind of like the idea of salmon. Then again, that's a pretty flat texture. There's not much three-dimensionally going on there. My Pinterest is really trying to figure me out because it's either like anatomy and gesture or textures, and it doesn't really know how to combine the two. Oh, but apparently guitar tabs. I need that. I can't say I've done that. Sorry if you can hear all the yawning too. I told you I got sleep, but who knows? I could have been lying. Apologies if this is a bit more boring part of this stream. Slowly. I really should have done this before stream. I completely forgot. Oh man, I'm seeing so much stuff on anatomy, and I'm very, very excited to get into it. Such interesting forms of expression and stuff in there. That's why I like anatomy so much, is the expression movement. It's easier to like draw the eye and circle certain paths around the image. Like your eyes follow the form. That is a gif of a crow eating someone's finger. Okay. It's very silly. Man, okay, let's go to Google, I guess. Don't worry, we still will complete our 1 hour. Maybe in a bit though. Maybe like a chain link fence. Maybe some form of tile. There is an apple. We could do apples. That one does seem a bit easier than the rest, though. Oh, we could... What to do? I just realized I'm like I completely forgot for a second. Oh, I'm streaming. Gotta be I guess an apple, man. Not really seeing many other ideas. There's always like the kiwi, the cucumber. Brick. Let's see. Let's see if I could draw inspiration from things I've already drawn. Not really inspired yet. I say we just continue with our fruit and do that. And the apple. There is also the option of like meat, which I've seen done before, like a steak. I say that's a bit more difficult, like a raw steak, so or like Wagyu. Let's try Wagyu. That kind of Wagyu texture in there, or maybe like ham bone. Get that piece of bone in there. Who knows? Like the Tom and Jerry or like cartoon kind of looking meat. Just something with a lot of marbling on it. Is that a ham bone? Is that what I'm thinking of? Not totally. I think Wagyu would be better. Let's try that. Now the challenge is finding a good enough reference image for Wagyu. Now I'm hungry. Apologies if this makes anyone else hungry. This looks like a good enough reference image. Wonderful. Okay. Let's do it. Get back into it. Let's set our 1 hour timer. I almost just wrote on the back of this, goodness. Yeah, we'll save that over here for a second. Go here and on the back of our page because we don't want to waste any of that. So let's start studying this. Wow, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go, moving over here. So immediately looking at this, we're gonna have like one major section of fat going across our texture. And you have these like little, you see this a lot, these like little heart shapes or just round areas. So we could definitely mark that off with its, with our own thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do a circle and I'm not gonna even fill the rest of that in. And yeah, from there we're just going to, so I'm gonna remember from last night when we were doing the bubbles and we were like, oh, this, like breaking it up because the reflections looks much better. So we're gonna do that here. Not because it looks better, but because some of the fat may have a slow gradient into the more red meat part of it. Like right here. Nah, I don't even have that good of an excuse for it. These smaller veins may be a bit more of a challenge. So this texture is definitely going to be challenge me in the sense of silhouettes and outlines of our objects, playing with that white and black balance. Regardless, let's do a bit of a. I think we'll do that main line of fat going through it. So. Let it get a bit darker over here. And here we're gonna leaving adequate room for like T-junctions and stuff. So it can look like it all almost flows together. Be very important for this. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? We do have like a bit more of a... This isn't a complete like copy to reference of it. I'm just kind of taking inspiration from the original image. So I probably should have left some more of a room right there, but that's okay. Should lighten up my lines a tiny bit too. So yeah, this is clearly a bit of a region where we messed up, but that's okay. Just remember that. I have my grading pins on the ready today. Oh, I probably should have muted my mic, apologies. And yep, the music player is still a bit broken. Oh goodness, whatever. We have to deal, don't we? Okay, we're gonna leave a lot of room for this fat section here. There we go, very nice. I feel like I did too much of these breaks, or that these breaks are a bit odd looking. Who knows? Already liking how this kind of is formed though, so. Maybe get some lines of fat in there too. Or like the blood kind of going through the fat. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Looks a bit strange to me right now, but we'll continue to improve on it. Okay, now for that marbling. This is going to be a bit of a weird one, because the veins of white are going to contrast with the red darker areas. So what we're going to do is, I guess like... have a vein right there. And you just kind of do this, almost a cow print, ironically, all over. Make sure that the veins do have somewhere to go in most cases. Part of me wants to be like, oh, texture is very unimportant. But I know Uncomfy has this in the has us learning this, then it's probably quite important. So I think this is a bit of a random way of doing it. It may work, but I think I should focus on the veins. Going back to my thing I said in the beginning, where this will be a challenge with silhouettes and etc. That I should focus on the veins before I focus on the interior forms. So looking closer at these, getting a bit of a zoom in here, I'll draw these lines, everything around these black areas, and then fill in the black areas. So adding a bit of like a chopped edge to it too. This is definitely one of those trust the process things, because without the darker interior, it does look a bit strange. I liked this one more, where I did the shapes before I worried about the veins. Or I kind of almost did them simultaneously. Kind of look like racing circuits. There you go. So yeah, I think I'll do this form of it first. So we'll start doing that over here. We'll do the larger shapes first. Be quite sporadic with them. Almost looks like a petri dish of some sort. And I'll try to have like a general flow to it, a general direction that all of these are going. So like most of the veins will be going up here for a second. These, I feel like there will be a bit of a swirl. I always feel like the first time I draw a texture or just anything and then I draw it again, the second time it's worse. I wonder if there's any reason behind that. A lot of food in these texture challenges. I wonder, do we just normally associate food with more with texture than like buildings or stuff, or? I feel like we're missing something here. I don't know, we'll keep filling stuff in. maybe that'll happen. I think almost tracing my initial larger forms, or I guess like little, just the larger black ink sections that I have, gives more of an effect that I want. I'm not even tracing, but like slowly following the outside with it, and leaving little white gaps in there. Don't want to overcrowd it though, so we'll be careful with that. Maybe you could add like a little message in here or something. Yeah, we could probably follow these edges too with a very light, kind of like what we're doing with the red meat on the inside. I'm starting to slowly like this. Oh my god, I forgot to start the hour timer. Oh, jeez. Let me look back at the stream real quick, and we'll see when we started, and then I'll overestimate it a tiny bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're only like 15 minutes in, but just to be careful. Going back on my phone right now. I hear my own voice, oh goodness. I'll wait till I actually put pin to page and stop talking about the... Yeah, it looks to have been about 15 minutes ago. Triple checking just in case, because I know anyone can go back and look at me lying, so... Oh yeah, there's my camera. Goodness. I'll set a timer for 45 minutes while we wait for this to load. It's about 14 minutes ago, so we'll give ourselves, let's say 46 minutes. That's good. Even though it's probably 15, but yeah, there we go. So going probably a bit over our hour of the day, but I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Yeah, leaving some just white gaps in here. Definitely the way to go. Don't want it to look too choppy though. I do like this kind of has a stream to it. This I kind of lost that, so we'll try to follow that over there. I don't know, I kind of like making the edges a bit thinner, so the interior will be a bit darker. Edges will have a bit of that form, bit lighter to it, less ink, less chaos to it. Up close, this doesn't look like, yeah, it's a bit, I think I need to be a bit more heavy with the ink. Now, as we learned yesterday with the clustering of all of our objects, me drawing out the, what's it called, bubble wrap larger beforehand, before putting it on my page, I realized that I barely needed to shade it because I did not have the room for my ink to do that, and I know that'll be the case here. Like, this is way too much detail. And the camera is kind of like doing some weird averages with the pixels, so it's putting these like gray areas that make it look like it's a lot more intricate than it actually is. Yeah, well, it's shiny a bit. Let me see if I can. That doesn't really help it too much, so still, just trust me on this one. We'll get through it. We'll make some good decisions here. And now I messed up my camera permanently. Oh goodness. Let's see if we can move it to the side a bit. Rotate it a bit. Oh, wonderful. Perfect. Okay. Let's take a water break real quick. Awesome stuff. Okay. Check that the stream and everything is going okay. Awesome. Make sure that's there we go. Awesome, good stuff. Back to it. So, pull up my reference again. I say we go straight to it because I just feel pretty good about this one. Ironically, despite me earlier claiming that today just wasn't my day. Now for the hard choice of picking where we put our Wagyu, it's going to be a darker texture, right? So I'm going to put it with the snake scales just so it won't be like a stark contrast with like this or this. I just realized, oh, okay, it kind of depends on how you're looking at this, but this is on the outside. I could technically make this on the inside, but the way I drew it, this is on the outside. So it's like we split something in half and you can see both the insides. Alrighty, let's get back to it. Man, I am tired today. I'm all full of all kinds of lies today, I guess. I apologize. Alright, so Wagyu. Let's get back to it. Trying to think. Oh, wow, that was not correct. We'll just blend that in. There we go. I feel like a lot of art I see today, I don't see much texturing. I see patterns, like brick walls. But like, even with clothing, I don't necessarily see textures. I just see creative ways of painting them. I'm trying to, not consolidate, but like, make a legitimate argument against having to study textures. But, you know, that's just me coping about how much I may or may not enjoy this topic. So, what we will do for this one is we have to remember spacing is important for our, what's it called? For the fatty sections, you know, spacing like that. And making sure our patterns kind of work out. This, I found some success with just larger inked sections that become followed by, I guess, just like traced ink portions. I guess that's the best way to put it. We just like kind of trace the edges with that. Yeah, we'll just put on here not too much chaos, please. Also, edges are less red. Our edges were less red. They, yeah, I mean, just they lost it's getting closer to the fat, so it kind of got a bit less red. That's not totally true here, but you can kind of see that happening here. Not happening right there at all, or right here, but I think it's just this section of the beef. So yeah, near these super heavily fatty parts, it does that. So maybe we could repeat that down here. But first, we do want to start off with these valleys of fat, these veins of fat. So let's get started. The scariest part is putting the ink to the page. We were doing it on the snake scales, weren't we? We also have to be careful to mind the position of our ellipse. Usually we do that on this page. I don't really want to. So, actually, let us... should we not waste the time? We'll do a tiny bit on an ellipse to practice. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Let's keep it going. So, I'm just going to practice the valleys here because I think the actual meaty red part of it won't be that much of an issue. So move that a tiny bit. Ooh, my wrist is hurting a bit. My left one, not my right one, which is my drawing one, so I guess I'm fine. As I said earlier in the stream, I'm falling apart, so we'll get back to it. Oh, just hit my camera with my mic. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Okay, so gonna start. I do want like those little heart regions, so in fact, start with awesome. Perfect. Okay, I kind of feel good about that. Man, I'm happy with this, and I know the second I transfer it to my ellipses, it's going to not end up like this. Kind of looks like ice cream, like some kind of like marbled ice cream. Awesome, okay, I think I'll replicate something like that. Maybe we could have a bit of a thicker region somewhere, but I think that's fine for now. What we'll do is, oh yeah, I think this should have connected there. Hey, I mean, we have plenty of opportunity to do that over here. So, let's somewhat recreate it. This minor axis, as we talked before, minor axis is much larger than this one's. So we'll do a bit of stretching, and plus, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. Great stuff. We may actually have some extra time today, and we can maybe do that apple that we were talking at the beginning. Or just tons of boxes, because, like I said, today is not my day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, do I want to rotate the page this way? Viewing it like this. It's going to be a bit opposite, because as you can see, like, the distance and size of these things decreases as it goes away from us. So we'll kind of do that over here. Go. Yeah, it's I think it'll work. It's a bit thin for what I'd like, but I think just all right. Had some of those lines we were talking about in here. Some following the edge a tiny bit. Could have had a bit more philosophy on why these lines would be broken, you know, these solid lines would be broken, and if it's less broken over here as it goes away because it's vanishing and it's harder to see, blah blah blah. But I'm liking how it's looking so far, so not too many complaints. Okay, so back to the marbled part of it. Let's look at our rules. We are going to have our larger ink sections, then followed by those tinier portions. Let's start from the center, work outwards, and remember that the fat kind of disappears. So we want that illusion, apologies, that illusion of the fat disappearing as we go outwards. So we'll do that over here. Adding a bit of a context around the outside of it, you know. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's hope we don't overdo it with the Inca. Look at our marbling a bit and just get an idea for what the shapes kind of look like. Not filling them in all the way because we learned that we don't technically need to do that totally. Remember, we're going to make big veins and valleys with this stuff. Wonderful. Feel like these are a bit too big. I'm gonna start picking down on the sides of them for the rest of this. Notice one somewhat possibly difficult task of this will be remembering where my lines are and where the marbling ends and begins. Very light textures there. Because we do need to kind of demarcate where our fat lines begin and end, so we will need a bit more black ink than we want. Than we'd expect, I should say. It's weird because it's all very chaotic, yet it still does kind of have a flow to it. I think that's the hardest part about recapturing this texture. Is that all the veins do kind of just point in a direction. So modeling that flow is my goal. Which is what we're doing with those kind of like talking about those lines that follow it. Follow our larger, darker lines. I think I may give up a tiny bit on having it line up near our darker lines because our fat lines, I should say. This may confuse the viewer, but we'll see. Try not to go about this all willy-nilly, taking some time to stop and look at the reference. My pen is kind of just never leaving the page. I want those artifacts, those little traveling lines there. I'm gonna try chopping it up, some like random dashes in different directions. Because they're all kind of just flowing upwards right now, which is okay. But some of the tinier lines kind of break that. So from the camera it looks nice, but from my point of view where I have lots of detail, it's, I don't know, a bit choppy, a bit... May just be a personal thing I don't like with it. Maybe I shouldn't have gone as dark as I warned myself about doing earlier. I guess the goal for this one is to kind of make it look like an MRI. I think I brought that up yesterday, but I can't be sure. Added that little line in the center there to make it give a tiny bit more detail to the that valley right there. Trying to flatten the paper a bit too so I can get some even marks. Yeah, went a bit too dark, didn't I? Well, that was a lesson learned. Still have 27 minutes left, so either we could do boxes, which I am feeling quite tired, or we could get started on an apple, but I think we should do the apple. Part of me just wants to get that finished, because this finished. These textures are a bit of a difficulty for me. Trying to get my face right in front of the camera. Don't think you guys want to just see wall of my forehead. Hopefully the music hasn't been too rough like yesterday. I mean, it's visible. You can see that is maybe some kind of meat. Oh yeah, I put a bit too much ink on the page, didn't I? Well, let's label it. I don't think more ink will save it at this point. Let's do an apple, shall we? Now this one's going to be a very light texture, so I think I'm going to do it over here. And I almost don't want to, sketch it out beforehand, just look at a reference, but let's get a sliced apple up here. Sliced apple, Pinterest. Probably couldn't ask for a better reference than this one. Yes I could, I wish it was more higher quality. Don't think I'm going to get that though. All these seem to be about the same. Oh, it's Shutterstock, no wonder. Ah, here we go. Oh, okay. This one has a watermark, but I don't think that'll detract from my ability to look at the inside of the apple. So we do have to be a bit careful here, because this is obviously not a circle. But we still do want to replicate like this going in there. Obviously we're going to have some very nice sides. We can add some roughness to it. In the core we have this almost invisible circle right here, so we get to do our favorite little dotted technique. Not our dots, not our tiny dots that are scary, and yeah, I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, just looking back at this, I've really over-inked that. That disappoints me quite a bit, but we'll do better next time. Yeah, over-inking has been a bit of an issue this entire time. over-inked, 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 arguably over-inked, interior over-inked, and edges. We'll work to do better. Definitely, hey, next page I'm excited for now because it's a fresh start. While it may be harder to find textures, I definitely have learned my lesson. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah, Apple does not seem too crazy. I'm almost bold enough to say let's tackle it without warming up first, but we'll do a practice ellipse over here on this page. Wow. I know I usually don't give up on ellipses, but that one did not satisfy me. That one's too big. Perfect. Is that about the degree of this one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, that's fine. So let's return. So an apple, we're gonna have that subdivision, the two, let's start with the 2 seeds, I guess. It has that bit of a teardrop. Let me move my bigger, there we go. Bit of a teardrop to it. So we got this and then bigger round part like that. And we just need to project that to be over here. It's near the upper a bit, like I'd say 1/3 of it is cut off by the midpoint of the apple. So we'll keep that in mind. Go right here. Then we have our actual seeds in there as well, which are also a bit of a teardrop shape. Wonderful. And then we have our line going up and our little, I guess, apple dip. So what I'm going to do is do a bit of our dot in. Like that. Looks like a little butt cheek. Okay, this was a bit much because all of this now is going to be dark. Don't necessarily want it like that. Okay, less dots going up there. Then we have our circle. In fact, I'm going to go like this. Make that a bit of a triangle going up there. And then this part, kind of, it's like a 2-part wider thing. Could have worked on flattening these 2 seeds a tiny bit, going like that a bit more. Making this one smaller, this one probably the same size. Keeping it that way. Tab over here real quick. Yep, and then it's more of an oval, not a teardrop, so this should have been like this a bit. And then finally, we have this larger part, which goes all the way up here. Man, should have moved these up to that upper half I was talking about. And then it splits off into the wider core of the apple. Not even core, the wider section of the apple. Of course, we have a stem. Cool. Okay. It gets really dark right here. Yep. And then, yeah, we can see the stem starts like right there. Okay, this is not totally the best, but I think we can recreate it pretty well over here. I think starting off with those seeds is quite the important part of it. So we have to remember where that teardrop shape comes in. I keep hiding my reference. There we go. I think I foreshortened that one decently well, maybe a bit too much. Didn't totally adhere to the... yeah, didn't totally adhere to the minor axis of this ellipse. Completely forgot about that while doing it, but... we'll make this pop out a bit too, because it is kind of popping out of the seed right there. Okay. Adding a bit of that lighter thing to it. Okay, let's see. Stem's gonna come out right there. And this was a bit lower than I'd like, but we'll make that work. Yeah, I could have made the seeds taller. trying to very lightly. Add these very small. I want to add like more of a whatever curve to that, but I think we'll survive. This turned out much better than I thought it would, especially for the prep time into it. This dent right here isn't making me too happy, but I think this was one of my first textures, if not the earliest. I know I claimed these to be my first textures, but these are like I think my second or third. But yeah, these two I think were some of the earliest. Ironically, these are two of my favorites compared to these. Yeah, when I get confused, I seem to over-ink. And I just want to fix this, but it's an additive process. There's not much I can do else. So, add our little stem. Giving it some depth on that side right there. Well, I'm happy with that. I'm satisfied. Not my best apple, but I think it's definitely passable. Apple core. Messed up on the O there, but that's fine. Wow, 16 minutes remaining. This took less than 8 minutes. Huh, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 remaining. Wow. Making some wonderful process. I'll hunt a tiny bit for some remaining textures, but I have a very good feeling I'll just do some boxes at the end of this. Let's see what we have going on here. Ugh. I am quite tired. Sorry if I'm making anybody else yawn who's watching. Cliffside would be fun, something like that. We always have, onions. Some kind of seeded fruit, maybe. Onion, I just feel this is just a bunch of concentric circles, nothing too crazy there. A black hole would be funny. I always see it. Maybe I'll save the kiwi for the next page. Or cucumber. Those are always just popular. Man, seeing other people do these so well, it's very impressive. A leaf would be fun. Ooh, pineapple is definitely one I should do in the future too. I'm gonna go back to this this stream for ideas. As you can tell, I'm not totally totally up for doing more textures today, but I am doing well, so. Well, yeah, we'll keep looking a tiny bit more. I also just don't want to press myself for time. Already did cactus, that'd be a fun one. I say we just do some boxes, keep it simple. As you can tell, I'm yawning quite a bit, so I am a bit tired. I still have to go to the gym after this too, so that's quite a commitment. Oh. Some energy drink of the sorts will probably save me there though, so. Let's go back to our slow but sure little box page that we've been working on. Waste no paper. Especially when you're generating as much paper as I do. About 2 pages a day almost. Alrighty, so boxes. And we'll just chill out. I'm now comfortable where I could just kind of randomly put dots down and leave them be. I should start considering when I do these anatomy learning ones as well. Let's try connecting things to this box, doing some intersections. Oh no, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. I'll draw a million boxes if it means I get to be good at art. Conventionally good at art. There's no way that this is lined up correctly. I'm not feeling that. But, eh. Seems like right here will be... I'm still thinking about that, Hikikabu game. I'm thinking about making it a bit of a web game myself too, so I can enjoy it with my friends and have a good project under my belt. Was working on that earlier today. I am making a Python prototype of it. However, I don't plan on speaking much about coding and stuff on here. Maybe I'll do a coding stream or two. But I feel like that's a tad bit more boring than just watching me throw ink at a page. Plus, I feel art is a bit of a more flexible area. There'd be a lot of backseat programmers in that one. Then again, I'm always welcome to critique. If you ever see anything wrong with my art, or you'd like to give me some great advice, I'm always up for that. Let's do some intersections. I feel like a water tap, almost. You know, you're gonna have it jutting out that way, so I'm gonna do add a line about right here. We want this to converge with all our other stuff. And in fact, I know it's not in the spirit of the boxes. And I said last stream we could start grading them. My vanishing point is about here. this one, which is, let's see, it's right here. So we're gonna make this one meet up with that. Oh, what's the point of a vanishing point if I can't even do a straight line? There we go. And we're gonna bisect this. It's gonna be a really weird looking water tap. I just want to extrude a box basically this way. So we're gonna go over here. Vanishing point. Ooh, that vanishing point is close. So this thing's gonna. Oh wow, didn't mean to do that. This thing's gonna have some weird behavior as we get over there. Probably practice some more ellipses too while we're at it. Okay, that's there. Let's do a box. We'll make it go to about here, which is pretty close to infinity already. I know I shouldn't be doubling up on interior lines, but I'm just doing that because I want to see it compared to the rest of my lines. Oof. So let's connect this. Ironically, we put that line there, so, or helpfully we put that line there, I should say. That's quite accurate. Do the same down here. Now, if there's anything I want to speed up on and get much better at, is this. I'm not going to care too much about this one because it's a very tricky line. And it's an interior line. We don't mess with those. Now I'm going, instead of doing extrusion, I'm going to do a cut over here. We'll do it about near the center. I don't want to do a bisection or whatever it's called of it because I want some room on this to work with visually. So that's the middle line. Doing that one pretty light, which was an accident but worked out, because we want a line up here, and a line right here. Keep in mind the distance of these will vary because guess what? It's foreshortening. We love foreshortening in the House of Drawbox. And the human eye just loves it, as I said before. Don't know why, couldn't tell you. I love it a lot. Makes my brain happy when I see it. There we go. Straight lines will matter quite a bit here. Okay, now for the tricky part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line right here. This is a bit arbitrary, but I want to do this to form some kind of cut. We're going to do a bit of a triangle cut down the length of this. So now we have this line. Now we need to go to this face, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. Not my best lines, but it's okay. Just kind of doing, oh, did not mean to do that. Well, that's what we get for not paying attention now. There we go. Then connecting these two dots, which should line up with our vanishing point. They kind of do. Not totally, but... do this. Boom, we have a cut through here. I'll fatten up those lines around it to make it more visible. There's gonna be a lot of ink smearing on this page at the rate I'm going. Yeah, this one I cannot touch the page. I did the top first, oops. Nice. And I feel like this one, its convergence is a bit weird. Yeah, because this, compared to that, meh. So if we were going to correct this one, it'd go a bit like that. Well, that's just a fault of our own convergence there. We have 3 minutes left. What else could we do to this poor box, our little Franken box? I would say do a sphere intersection. Those are quite difficult. Yeah, I think it's a good visual trick. We could do a bit of a sphere intersection right here, which won't require much vanishing point, unless you want to do the math for that, which I'm not going to. And I kind of want to just like think, almost like Pac-Man's taking a bite out of it, right? So we're going to have a bit of a circle up here. And if you think about it, ellipses really are just squares, if you want to approximate it enough, right? So, what we're going to actually do, I'm going to do another line towards our vanishing point. Like that. See, isn't this so much more fun than textures? Oh wow, there we go. And we're just going to do an ellipse there. Half ellipse. We can do, just approximate the midpoint to be right there. No, really round, less round. Just need to find a comfortable position to do this. Yeah, not bad. Now, a somewhat equidistant dot down here towards the vanishing point. The rate of convergence over here compared to that side is just a bit tough for me. Like, it converges so fast over here compared to this one. Which shouldn't... I guess it's just a visual perception thing. Okay. Oh yeah, this one's somewhat just going to be straight down. These are guesses. Let's do an ellipse there. Estimate the midpoint to be about right there. Just know that I have to hit it. There we go. Add a line in the center just to indicate. Yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea. Now it just looks like an onion. There we drew our onion texture. Buff up the sides of this and call it a day. There's probably a lot of ink getting on the wood underneath this, but I couldn't care less. There we go. Looks weird. Their little Franken box, but I'm happy with it. Somewhat more happy than I am with the okra and Wagyu beef. I'm happier with the okra than I am the Wagyu, but, you know, take some, win some, you lose some. Anyways, so that's the end of the stream today. Let's do our Delano review session. Talk about what we've done today, how we feel about it. Usually, you know, as per usual, we've done our warm-up, our ellipses, all of that stuff. Somewhat faster today. Lines are not as good as yesterday, in my opinion, but, I mean, that's what practice warm-up is for, so not too much judging there. Right here, we had a pretty good beginning of the Wagyu, and we had some great notes next to it, and my prediction was correct when I assumed I would over-ink it. I did. For the sections that did have ink, I should have been more solid, and I should have put less ink all around it. So this was a great start. I think nothing happened poorly here. I just should have done like solid ink sections and not so much scribble. I scribbled a lot. That's even against the lesson 2 rules for this, and the lesson 2 section for the organic forms, textures, slices thing. Intersections, I believe? No, I can't remember the total name for you. But yeah, don't scribble. We learned that. Apple went pretty well. But yeah, since it shrunk, the scribbles just look a lot more incoherent and very happy with the apple, probably because it was very simple, kind of like the avocado. Not too much going on there. I could have probably added maybe some texture to the sides of it, who knows. The seeds did not follow the minor axis totally of it, so it does look a bit off right there. But other than that, I don't have any corrections to go there, and I really like the Franken box. Our circle turned out a bit weird. I don't know enough to critique it correctly. All I can say is, if I was going to redraw this, I'd say this needs to curve out a little bit more. And then these, I think these like guides, yeah, you'd see less of it as it goes over here, so like, yeah, do something like that. I don't know. This turned out well. I like that. I like this, except for this. If I was gonna, what's going on there? You know, this one, pretty close. Yeah, that's my bad. Whatever it's called. Line work skills. That one's okay, but that's the one I based it off of. That's a bit off. That one's better. And then the one down here was kind of just off at infinity, so it doesn't totally matter. But yeah, that was our Franken box. So, overall, successful day. What day isn't when you're drawing, practicing, and trying to better yourself? There's not really failures until we quit here, right? Oh, Pilgrim, good to see you here. Awesome, man. Saw you the first day. Hopefully your drawing tablet escapades are going well. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. If there are any issues with the audio or anything you'd like to see from me, please let me know. I hope you enjoy the beginning to your 2024 and continue working hard. I believe in you guys. Alrighty, that's all. So, are you still awesome? Good to hear. Okay, well, and it looks like my chat isn't working. Is the chat working here? Oh, it still isn't. Oh, yes it is. Why is it only working there? Whatever. Well, great to see you, Pilgrim. And yeah, so goodbye everyone, and see you later. Bye.